Ooh. Hey folks, Rob with Two Guys in a Ride, and again we are visiting with Glenn and another beautiful car from his collection. We're in beautiful Brandon, Mississippi. And Glenn, hey, tell us again a little bit about you and then introduce us to this magnificent vehicle behind you.
Well, about me, I'm just a boy from outside Detroit, and used to work in new car engineering at the proving grounds for Ford long ago. That's where I sort of got my love for cars and all things mechanical, so to speak. Then traveled the world working for a company called Raytheon, and did that for pretty near 20 years, and now I work for a small privately owned oil and gas company. But that's about me. But that's how I got this love for automobiles. Was back in my days as a youth in Detroit and out cruising Woodward and Gratiot and Telegraph and all those places, and just doing all things automotive back in my youth. That made my youth what it was, and make me just want to keep this sort of thing close to me all the time.
So you're the kind of guy that if we cut you, you bleed 30 weight.
I would put
1040.
I'd say Ford Blue, but yeah,
Okay, well, there you go.
that's a good, that'll work.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have been a little more better about that analogy.
Now, if we gotta say 30 weight, I'm gonna say full synthetic.
Okay. Well, tell us. I'm standing right here, and I think you folks can pick up right now, just below where your hand is on the front left fender. There's a pretty special emblem right there.
Yeah.
Tell us about this car and tell us about that emblem.
This is a 7-liter Galaxie, 1966. It's the only year they made them. It's a special model. It was the top of the line. You couldn't, even the XL was a step below this one, which is generally in the Ford hierarchy, is XL's top of the line. But for this year, the 7-liter was the top of the line, and it was to introduce the 7-liter engine, which is the 428, which most people would say is legendary. A legendary Ford engine. 428 is just a hoss of a torque, monster motor, and that had very good street manners and could still get with the program. But anyways, they introduced this car just to introduce this engine that's under the hood of this thing. And you could also get a 427 in them, although this one's the 428. This one's got a full-on 428 Cobra jet in it. Okay. But you could get the 427 even in our code designation with the dual Holley 650s, and and that was quite a sight to behold. But it's the way they did these cars is it's got the bucket seats and the console, wood wheel. It's all, for a Galaxie, it's the best of the best.
Any idea on production numbers of these that year?
I used to know that. Less? It's not a lot.
Okay.
And they have a good 7-liter Galaxie owner's registry, which I do belong to.
Okay.
And it lists it clearly out there, but I haven't been out there recently enough that I've got it in my memory banks. Okay. But suffice to say, there has just not been a lot. There's not a lot of these that were made, right. And there's even less, a whole lot less that exist
that are still
today.
Around. So
yeah, that's right.
When you roll up to a stoplight at your local on the way out or to your local cruise in, and you think you're rolling up behind Grandma's Galaxie, be careful. Look for that. Look for that, folks, because if not, you want to race off the line, you're about to be embarrassed at the stoplight. That
has happened a time or two.
There you go. That denotes, and you were struggling to say about that engine, but I've got it. That denotes the beast within.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
And it is legendary 428 Cobra jet.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, without the labels, it's the sleeper of sleepers.
Yeah, no, most people wouldn't think it. I mean, they pull up next to you thinking, who's this old man in this river barge? You know,
is he on his way from or to church?
Yeah, that's right.
Or to the, I don't know. I mean, or to Canasta.
Yeah, and generally I can dispatch them pretty quickly.
I can imagine. Now, on this car, would there have been any other things that year to? No, there was also the Galaxie 500 that year as well. So, and the XL trim and everything. Okay, well,
that's correct.
On this, other than those badges, what else would have denoted if you hadn't noticed the badges that this was a 7-liter?
This pinstripe.
Okay.
Is you'll only find that on the 7-liter. That goes all the way around, kind of makes that rectangle.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect rectangle.
It follows the creases in the body lines.
That's right.
Okay.
The grill is different on a 7-liter, and it also has a designation on the grill.
But fairly, if it's a 7-liter, not many people ever get to see the grill.
True.
So you're going to see the tail lights.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and then the truck spear also says 7-liter on it as well.
Right. So when you roll up behind you or beside you got to pay attention to the...
And I've got a brand new OEM 7-liter insert for this. I just have never put it on.
Okay, so this one's showing a little... This is original.
That one's showing its age.
Yeah. But there again, I mean, but very subtle. So that answers the question you said earlier. It was basically a trim level to introduce that engine. So it wasn't like it was a failure. No, it was planned to be 1 year, to be full fanfare, to get people excited about that engine.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, and I will say this, in 67, you could get, they didn't make a 7-liter Galaxie like this is, its own model designation, but you could get, and they didn't make very many of them, and I think something in the order of in the 300s. Okay. But you could get a package, an option package that was a 7-liter sports package, they called it, which gave you a lot of the same things. But again, it was just on the Galaxie. You could get it on the Galaxie 500 or the Galaxie 500 XL.
Okay.
And then that was an option. Where this is its own model designation. This is a 7-liter Galaxie.
Yep. And you and I was sharing with you yesterday, I've never had one allegiance to Ford, GM, Chrysler, whatever. I like design, I like styling, I like different cars. You're a Ford guy, and I get that. But I have to admit, early to mid 60s, even late 60s, Ford was absolutely rocking in my mind. Yeah. And in my eye, they were rocking the styling.
Yeah, no, the aesthetics. And look, Ford actually, most people don't know this. I mean, they won a lot of design awards for their cars back then. I mean, they just, like, I looked down the flanks of this thing from this 3/4 rear view. Yep. I mean, just look at the lines on that thing. Yeah. I mean, it's to me, that's just a fabulous design. I mean, it just...
I've always been a fan of the taillights.
Yes.
They do just enough, but they're not overly styled. And then we talked about this and looking at a couple other your cars in your collection. Think back, these are 6-8 years removed or less from the opulence and the just extravagance of all the chrome and doodads and you name it all over the cars of the 50s.
Yeah. Some would say gaudy.
Yeah. Well, you look at the 58, 59 Lincolns. I mean, oh my God. Somebody said, as they fell out of the ugly tree, they hit every single limb on the way down.
Yeah, that's right, every branch.
Because they were just absolutely ugly. But, I mean, somebody got a hold of Ford and said, wait a minute. And they had the slab-sidedness, the squared, the restraint. And you could look at this car now and say, what are you talking about, restraint? I see chrome all over it. But no, put yourself in that time. This was heavy restraint.
Yeah, no, that's right. Like, I think it was a 58 Buick, had some 44 pounds of chrome on it. Yeah.
I likened the late 50s cars to the fact that the designer, every time he got up for a coffee break, 3 of his assistants walked by and drew 4 more pieces of chrome on the car.
Yeah.
Well, he went to coffee, and when he came
That's
back,
right.
you know, it was a completely different car because it was, now everything was chrome.
Yeah, now we got to put another piece of chrome over here to offset all this chrome that was put over there.
Exactly. But then you look at this, and you're thinking, well, the guy that pinned this, he must have locked it up in his drawer every time he went to a coffee break because it is restrained. And what is on there for the chrome, you know, are the rocker moldings with the grooved.
Yeah, that's right. But they're not just slab-sided pieces of chrome. I mean, they got some design to them.
Clearly telling you what the vehicle was. But two of the coolest touches on this vehicle I've always been a fan of, is the chrome at the filler cap. And that served a purpose. It wasn't just a pretty.
No, that's right.
Because
kept the scratches.
You're digging in there.
Yeah,
and,
that's
you
right.
know, but the other is the hash marks, as we called them in the military.
Yep.
But
and they matched the body
and
color.
they were color coordinated.
Yep.
But something when we talk about the design of the car and the slab-sidedness and everything, you see the squared off look, but there are still gentle curves. This isn't a straight line.
Nope, that's right.
That's a nice curve. This isn't a straight line.
Nope.
That's a nice curve. And you've got this thicker band around it, which led to some formality and dressiness of the car.
And you can see the NASCAR influence. You know, these were the
Oh,
old
yeah.
stockers that they used to race back then.
Yep.
Matter of fact, Ned Jarrett, in this same year of car, he was I'm pretty sure he was the NASCAR champion in a '66 Galaxie.
Well,
And, but you know, you can see this roof line.
Yep.
That's designed.
That fast line.
That's right. It's providing some, you know, some good aerodynamic flow, and you're getting some downforce on the vehicle there, and you know, they weren't completely stupid.
No, not at all.
There was some function in the form.
Yeah. Where the 50s, you can look at those cars and think they just added it because they had another 3 square feet of sheet metal. They felt like they needed to add chrome.
Function, yeah, wasn't necessarily a part of it at all.
Right. It was definitely more form over function, to where there was, I think, that paradigm shift in the 60s across all divisions, all
Yes.
manufacturers.
No, that's right.
Of that restraint, and getting back to then now that, well, what is the functionality of it? And there were still doodads, and as my friend in Minnesota calls them, gewgaws, of the chrome and add-ons and stuff. But again, folks, you're looking at these and you might think, oh, there's a lot on there. No. Put yourself back in this time, and it's very, very restrained. It's a very formal, upright car, too.
Yeah.
And there is a air of luxury to it, an air of,
Definitely.
and it definitely has a presence.
To me, it does, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what one of the things that drew me to it, and
the color.
Yeah, Tahoe Turquoise.
And that's original color.
Yes, that is.
Tahoe Turquoise. That's what I walked in your garage the very first day yesterday, and this thing screamed out, "Look at me!" And I'm like, you didn't have to say it so loud. I was looking at you already.
That's the original paint on this car.
Oh, that is.
Yes.
You've just buffed it and cleaned it.
Not even that. It needs a cleaning right now.
But oh my gosh.
But that's the original paint, and the interior in it's original as well.
Speaking of that, hey, why don't you go to this side? I'll come in on the passenger side.
Sure.
Let's take a look at the interior, because that is a huge wow factor as well. Look at that center console, how it comes down to the floor. That's really cool.
Yes. For back in the day, and it's got power seats. It does have regular roll-up windows, but power seats, air conditioning, you know, power steering, power brakes, wood wheel. The horn center was different on a 7-liter as well. They had their own unique horn center on there.
But this wood wheel was original?
Yes.
That's gorgeous. But now wait a minute, the dash is different, right? I mean, the gauges.
Yeah, this I have put a set of Dakota Digital gauges in it, and if you see that screen hanging down off the side of the air conditioning unit.
Oh, so you got tuning?
I've got a Holley Sniper EFI on top of this.
But you've lovingly created it as it's been for drivability.
Yeah, no, that's right. This is you can drive around in this car.
Yeah, and enjoyability. And,
yeah, that's right.
You know, I wouldn't even say you've not rust-o-modded this.
No,
not
really.
Found a few places that could be improved upon, but other than that, now this interior is completely
original. Completely original. Yes.
I always try to think back. It's like when these cars were coming down the assembly line. Do you think that 60 years later, the fellow who's hanging this right front quarter panel is thinking, what is this car? Is this car even going to be around in 60 years?
I doubt they have that in their mind at all, personally.
Yeah. They're just working for Friday.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and coming, again, born and raised near Detroit, Michigan, and just being immersed in that culture, so to speak.
Yeah.
I grew up coming around to people, and this is not a slight towards the assembly workers and stuff like that, but that's their job, and look, these companies want to get as many out the door as they can.
Yep.
They
had the procedures, but it was production.
Yeah, that's right.
My gosh, Henry Ford started the business. Of course it was about getting cars out the door.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, they may have said that from time to time, but I think for the most part, they're just like, man, let's get these parts bolted on and go to the house.
Yeah. And I've always kind of wondered, it'd be kind of cool to pick some of these folks. Of course, they would be quite elderly now, but to pick some of these folks that had put cars like this together. And
you notice on the glove box, it also has the 7-liter designation.
But, to say to these guys, do you think this ever would have been what it is today in collectible? And to wonder and get their feedback and say, you know what, again, we were just putting them together. We never thought about that. It might be their feedback.
Yeah.
I like the Ford crest on that. My dad had a 54 Ford, and that was on the hood.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Disc brakes all around or just front?
Just front.
Okay.
Big, huge, massive drum, fin drums on the back.
Right, to cool those drums, because they'll pick up some heat. But you said it stops?
It stops really good, yeah. I mean, if you don't have the chewing gum in your mouth tight enough, if you stop on the binders, you'll put it on the windshield.
Well, we talked about stopping. Let's see what makes it go. Can we look under the hood?
Yes, absolutely. I got to remember.
Yeah, folks, these are his cars, but he's got so many, he has to remember where each hood release is.
That's it. That's a true story.
Baby. Whew. Now, so you've replaced the manifold, it looks like,
yes.
So, and you said carburetors?
Yeah, that's got a Holley Sniper EFI on it.
That's right.
But you'll notice the long tube headers I've got on it.
Yeah, she's got to breathe.
Yeah, this here is a full-on 428 cubic inch Cobra jet V8, and it gets with the program.
I think, as I told you yesterday, it creates the program.
Yeah, I like that.
By which all others adhere to, or strive to be.
Yeah, it definitely gets with the program, or creates the program. I like it.
It is the program.
Yeah.
Now, anything else under here? I see it does have power brakes, which is wonderful. So again, with all this go fast, you want to be able to stop quickly. So you got the power booster, power brakes. But I see you still have the original bag for your window washer.
Even though I have done some work on this engine, you will find generally everything that I do to a vehicle is very easily reversible.
Okay.
And I always have all the old parts, the original parts.
Yep.
So, which I have, for this as well. But my style, if you would call it a style, is I like clean and stock.
Yep.
For lack of a better way to put it.
Yep.
But now, do I upgrade the tires and wheels to contemporary? Yes.
Yeah.
If I can do something with the suspension, going with high pressure shocks, putting polyurethane bushings on, things like that. I do that. I mean, or even add a sway bar if I feel the need, so on and so forth.
Right.
Upgrade the material for the brake pads and shoes, all that sort of stuff. I will do that.
Yeah.
And believe me, over in that other building, I think you saw all those shelving units.
Yeah.
Those are all.
That's the original pieces.
That's the original pieces for all these cars out here.
Yep.
That's why they're all there.
Right.
And I've got them all labeled.
But like folks, like the collectors out there that do the full-on resto mods, you do them for drivability.
Yeah, that's right.
Because old cars just don't drive like new cars.
Exactly.
I don't care what your memories told you.
Yeah.
The reality of today says no, they don't drive that way anymore. They are a chore at some point. But so these incremental things that you do only enhance the drivability, but like you said, you keep all the original parts, so if anybody ever had the audacity to think they could get one of these cars away from you to buy them, then you will oblige them by supplying them with the original parts that were
that's
on
right. They can take it like it is,
Yep.
or take it with the old original parts.
Yeah.
Which most people, that's the way they like it. They want the contemporary upgrades, but give me the original parts, and now they got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and they look at it and they're like, you did all the things that I would have done to make it where I could enjoy it, and you've already done it for me.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're right. And then I still get the old parts. So if I ever decide that the next guy that wants it more than I do decides he wants to return it back to stock.
Like this car, you could take on the Hot Rod Power Tour.
Yeah.
Not that I've done that, but
I'm free this summer. You want to go?
yeah, let's rock it. but I wouldn't fear it, because I've been through it, and that's what I got it. Because that's what, and I think I mentioned this to you before. One of the things I like doing is one of the pure enjoyments that I get from these old vehicles is I like putting my bride in the seat beside me, and we're blessed to live on this 34,000 acre reservoir out here, and we just drive around, and because each car has its own personality, its own characteristics, and I enjoy experiencing that in those vehicles when we take them out for a ride.
Yep.
And of course, I enjoy doing little things like the things we're talking about here.
Right.
I've got some mechanical aptitudes and skills, obviously, and I enjoy doing those things as well. But this car I've had maybe 5-6 years.
Okay.
It's not one of the older ones in my collection.
Okay.
But I've had it a little bit. I mean, it's been a minute.
Now,
it may be longer. The older I get, the more I lose track of time.
Yep.
How it elapses.
Yep. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you there. Well, I've seen your collection, and folks, we'll put the links up above in the cards there that you can see other videos from his collection that we've shot. But I would have to imagine that last statement you just said would had to have been one heck of a hard choice to pick from the cars that you have to pick your least desirable. I don't know how you apply that terminology to your collection.
Yeah, no, it was hard. It's almost like, I won't put it up there with picking between your kids, but it was definitely a hard choice, and it was not a quick or easy decision. It was just looking objectively, and really it was, all right, here's the cars that I want to have. Do I want them worse than I want to not have this one?
Yeah.
And it was back and forth on a lot of them.
Yeah.
And because, like I said, that Corvette I had, I mean, it was mint. It was perfect. It was gorgeous.
This from a Ford guy, folks, okay? I mean, that tells you, his words aren't adequately describing it because this is a Ford guy. He's telling you a Corvette was mint, gorgeous, you name it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, because of where my taste runs, and it didn't really, fit the collection, so to speak.
Right.
I said, I can, that, and because it was so nice, there was always people trying to get that.
Ready to own it.
So it was easy to move because it was so nice and so many people wanted it.
Yep.
So that sort of was not in its favor either. But I'll tell you this, it was not a happy day when it rolled out of here.
Is that right? Okay.
No,
in all
sad.
fairness, folks, behind the scenes, he did tell me it was bringing down the value of his collection, so he had to get rid of the bow tie because
bringing down the property values.
The other neighbors were complaining because it's like it's always on blocks up in the front yard. Let's get it out of here. Hey, buddy, thank you again so much for sharing this beautiful car with us. It's spectacular. The design, the color, the horsepower, man, home run.
Thank you.
Home run every day.
We sure appreciate you coming out and being here.
Well, thank you again so much for sharing your collection. And folks, thanks for watching.